So have you been trying to get a perfect method to draft a female English trouser, rope trouser, back elastic, and to achieve a perfect fit? So this video is for you. So make sure you spend the next 20 minutes of your time to watch this explicit video I made on female corporate trouser. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So I promise you that this video will be worth more than you expected. Even if it's a free tutorial, but it is worth your 20 minutes of your time. And I bet if you don't achieve value in this, I'll promise to refund your data. So just watch the very end and comment at the end of the video if you truly learned something from this video. So let's get down to the cutting proper. Hello guys, good morning and welcome back. All right, so I made some videos initially on how to draft a perfect female trouser, and I got some questions. And the complaint they had was one of my videos I made, the voice wasn't clear enough. So this will give you a clearer understanding and explanation on how to go about it. So right here, fabric unfold, you mark out your side line. Now this side line must be marked out in order to remove the what they call English mouth, right? Or the salvage edge of the fabric, just this way. So just mark it out. The length you're marking out will be the length of your customer's trouser measurement, right? So once you have made sure you marked it out in that form, now the next you will do is to also mark out the baseline. You also mark out the baseline. This baseline must also be properly marked out, just like this. And then after you have marked out this one, you mark extra 2 inches here, which serves you for the hemming or folding of the trouser. You mark out 2 inches, which is compulsory, right? So mark all through to this very point. And the next you will do right here is to apply the length of trouser. So the trouser length we have here is a length of 38. So right here, you mark 38 trouser length. You mark all through to this very point. Make sure you get the marking done twice in order to achieve a perfect straight line on the waist region. So after that, you connect the line from there as well to this very point. Make sure that this is marked out to the very end where the line of your waistline has been drafted. Now the next you will do now is to get your crotch line and your knee line. Now there are formulas you have to use, and the formulas are as follows. For a standard method to get a female crotch is divide the hip by 4 and add and minus 1 inch from it. Divide the hip by 4 and subtract 1 inch from it. So the hips we have here is a hips of 41. If you divide it by 4, you will have 10.25. Minus 1, you will have 9.25. So in such cases, I will just mark at 9.5 to make it easier for application. So right here, I will mark at 9.5, right? And then from that 9.5, I will now get my knee point. Now the knee point will be gotten by, from that 9.5 or whatever value of your crotch, the measure to the ankle line, this point, divide this distance into 2. So this gave me 28.5. Then divide by 2, that is 14.25. And then minus 3 inches from it, that's 11.25. So right here, you mark 11.25. So now you extend the lines across. Extend the lines across just this way. Extend the lines across just this way as well. So once these lines has been properly extended, now the next you will do now, if you want to label them, you label them. That is the waistline, crotch line, knee line, ankle line, and your hem line. In some cases, you also get the calf line. When you're making for people that has bigger calf, right? Now, after this, the next you will do now is to apply the actual hip measurement on this dimension, which is 41. You mark it to be 10.25 through this way, and then add extra 2 inches to that, making it to be 12.25. So in such case, you have to transfer the value, the total value you have here. You will get the midpoint of the total value, which is 12.25 will be 6.61 right? Fine. So right there, divide by 2, you have 6.125. That's 618. You transfer it this way, and then transfer it all through to the knee line as well. Mark the same 6.8 or whatever value you have. Transfer this to the ankle as well, and then also mark the same value you have right there. So after which, you extend the line from the hip crotch depth to the knee line and down to the ankle line. So this line must be extended all through to this very point. So this line is called the gradient line or the plumb line, right? Then the next you will do here is to get your measurement as well. Now the knee we have is a knee of 15 and a half. So in such cases, I do it 16, just for easier application. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now this simply means that from this center line, you will mark 4 inches on both sides, right? So from here, from this center line, you mark 4 right there. And from here as well, you mark 4 as well. And then you also mark the ankle is 12, right? So 12 divided by 2 is 6. By 2 again is 3. 3 on both sides. But there is normal thing I do. I always add extra half an inch to it in order to give room for weaving and, joining so that it doesn't short or lessen the actual measurement. So I will use 13 to mark the ankle. So invariably, I'm adding 1 inch to the ankle measurement. So 13 ankle divided by 2 is 6.5. Divided by 2 again is 3.25. So right here, you mark 3.25 at both sides from the center line. 3.25 at both sides. Like I said, this is just to enable you have weaving properly done. Now, because of the fact that we're making a female trouser, we are going to transfer the value of the hip measurements onto the waistline. Please watch here attentively. So right here, I will measure the total, which is 10.25, transfer it to the waistline, which is also 10.25. I will mark in this very point, and then connect it to the actual hip line, which is this line. It goes all through this way. After this, from this point, you have to mark the waist value backwards. Now, the waist we have is a waist of 33. Divided by 4 is 8.25, right? So right there, you mark 8.25 from this very point. Now, on female trouser, normally, after the waist over 4, you normally add 1 inch extra. But because of perfection's sake, and we don't want to have any emoji sign or smiley sign or smiley emoji on the trouser crotch, so we don't add 1 inch on the waist. We transfer this 1 inch to the back panel. So invariably, we are using the actual waist to draft the front panel. All the allowances that is needed for the sewing will be added to the back panel in order to achieve a perfect fit on the front crotch, right? But on male section, you don't do it this way. You mark your waist from this point to this point, and then the line here goes slanted. Bear in mind, you add 1 inch on the male aspect. So having said that, now the next you are going to do now is to start your connections. And how do you connect? You take your long ruler this way and make sure that you bring this line to come up to a reasonable length all through somewhere of this nature. You also mark here as well. It comes out as well up to a reasonable length somewhere to this very point as well. And then with the help of your hip curve, also observe how it's being used. The curvy area will always face inside the trouser, both on the side here and also the side here. The curvy area will always face in and not this way. The hip area, this curvy will be on the up area. The slimmer part will be on the down section. So right here, you place in this form where you will get a perfect connection from here to this very point. It goes somewhere of this nature, and then you also turn it over this other way around, and then you continue from there, continue to the knee line. It goes all through this way, and then from here as well, you extend from here as well and go all through to this very point, and then you turn it over this other way around again, connect from the knee to the crotch or the hip point. It goes all through this way. As you can see how perfect the connections are going, right? Now, the next you will do now will be to apply the waist measurement from the crotch or connect rather. So from here, you turn this one down this way. This curvy area will be on the hip point, and then connect here in a way that there will be no sharp pointed mouth here. You can just, use the edge here to blend it all through. After you have done that, now the next you will do now will be to mark here to come up by 2 inches right there, and then take your pattern master and then place in this form and make a curve to connect all through to this very point, right? And then this panel, as it stands now, will serve you for both rope, elastic, and English trouser. Now, the only point where you make a major difference is on the back panel, right? So if you are making a corporate trouser, you can do this pattern in the front and then do the regular raising 2 inches or 1.5 at the back and then extend here by 2 inches. But if you're making a rope trouser, there'll be no need to slope or slant the front, right? So, but however, in my case, I'm making a female trouser that has zip in front, rope at the zip in front, rope in front as well, and the back elastic. So I will still add a bit of English pattern to native pattern, right, to achieve a perfect fit. So right here, I will come down by 1/2 inch. Though this is optional, you can decide to ignore this. It's still very much okay. And then from right there, you place in this form, and then you connect all through to this very point. And this is what you have. And don't forget, you also place the pocket from right there, mark pocket of 6.5 or 7, depending on the customer's measurement and size. And then you also mark from here 2 inches or thereabout. And this is all you need to do for the front panel. So if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like this video, comment, share. And this is also a reminder that my online class for the new year is on. So you will send a message to the number on the screen of this video for more information on how to join or access the mentorship class. So this class, will be explicit for both new and old tellers or new members to join and learn from the very best platform you can ever see online. So don't forget to also share this video and subscribe to my channel. So let me cut this out and then show you guys how to draft the back panel as well. All right, so right here, we are done with the front cutting. Now let's now cut the back panel. So all you need to do right here is to make sure you place the front piece in this pattern, and then extend the line of the crotch to the back fabric just this way. Then this is where you majorly differentiate female trouser from a male trouser. So at the back panel, there is what they call gaping. Now that gaping is the effect of the waist area not lapping on the waist body of your client. So how do you now solve that problem? All you need to do here is to make sure you take your hip curve just this way and then extend this line of the back piece, lap it on the front panel, the same direction it's going. Now it tilts or moves out all through to this point. So once it moves somewhere off to this area, now most people will ask me, how many inch off is it going to be? But then bear in mind that the inch off, it still depends on your customer size. But for this particular customer I have, from the tip of the front panel to the tip of the line I have here, I will mark here, I will measure here to be 4.5 inch, right? And this is the range for this particular customer's measurement. So now, when you have known that this range could be as big as 4.5 inches or 4 inches, then you can now walk around anything value you have there. So the next you will do now is to start from this particular line. And don't forget that I said that we are going to raise the back panel by 3.5 inches, right? So this was actually placed 3.5 inch below the line here because of the fact that the back is elastic and front is rope and zip as well. But then in your case where you are making a corporate trouser, you could just raise here by 2 inches or 1.5 maximum, and the raising will now tilt somewhere of this nature, right? So the same pattern is applicable. The different thing here is that I raise this panel by this said value, right? So having said that, now the value of your back measurement is what we are trying to now apply. Now our waistline for the back will be applied from here. The waist measurement we have is 33. So divide by 4, you have 8.25. So from right there, you mark 8.25, which is somewhere of this nature. And don't forget that the back panel, we need to add normally 1.5 inch or 2 inches at the back. Then plus the 1 inch that was not added in front will not be added to the back panel. That's making it to be 3 inches in total. So from here, you mark 3 inches all along here. Now this simply means that your value you're adding here is covering both the front panel 1 inch and the back panel 2 inches, right? So that is the essence of this explanation for you to get it clear and once and for all, right? So having said that, now the next we are going to do right here is to, apply or cross-check the hip to make sure that the hip is still within this region. And normally, you and I know that after the hip value, you add extra 2 inches, right? Fine. So this is the range where we need to add the hip value, somewhere of this nature. And then here, normally you extend by 2 inches. You also extend by 2 inches all through this way. So this is how you apply this very measurement. So now you now connect the lines from the crotch point to somewhere of this nature. Connect from here as well to this nature. Connect from here to this point and to the last area as well. And then after that, with your freehand sketch, you make a curve, or with your pattern master or hip curve, whichever one you deem fit, make a curve that connects to this very point, raise it up, and then goes all through to the hip waist point. So this is how you link up your back waist panel. So this will make the trouser panel to tilt towards the left of your trouser. By so doing, the back waist region will lap on your customer's waistline, right? So this is how you draft your customer's back panel of the trouser. So I think this is as clear as possible, and I also know that you have understood from this. So if you enjoyed the video, like I said, don't forget to like, share, comment, ask your questions, and also subscribe to my channel. And don't also forget that I have an online class that is currently ongoing now. So you could just, send a hi to the number on the screen to get more details and inquiry. So once you come to WhatsApp, just send details of the New Year or 2025 online training, and I will forward it to you. Then you check if it's something that you could afford, because it's a paid class. It's not a free class. My Telegram classes are all paid, so you could, decide to join us on the journey, right? So this is just a perfect time for you to learn all of this online. So you can learn from the comfort of your home, and also make sure you, get the value of whatever you have paid for when you join the online community. So here, this is how I get my female trouser perfectly drafted, and the fitting will be amazing as long as the measurements you have used are in line. Please note, the measurements you have used must be perfect, so that you achieve a perfect fit as well. So it goes all through to this very point. So now, let me show you guys what the back panel looks like. In most cases, people think that the back panel of trousers must look like the front. No, it's not true. The back panel is actually not meant to look like the front panel. So this is what it looks like. This one comes, when you adjust it, it comes all through to this very point. The sewing, look at the shape of the back panel. It's not meant to be straight. It's meant to be, tilting out towards the left-hand side of this. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you guys on the next one. So the components, you now go ahead and cut, which I have previous videos on the band, on the front band, the flap, pocket facings, belt loop. No belt loop on this one. But if you're making English trouser, you will draft all of these components I have mentioned right there. So you now notch the pockets, and that's the end of the video. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.